Come on, let me just check real quick. Where's the live stream though? I was just on it. Hey. Yeah, right here. I was just on it. Yes, it's good. Sounds good too. We're on.
Yeah? All right.
Come.
Shalom. This is GMS Holland together with GMS Germany. Back with the lesson. Before we start off, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham Rakakadash.
Basham Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there. They're spreading this word as a city and in truth all over the four corners of the earth. Gone. So yeah, man, like you see the title, Negros are Esau, or Negros are the Edomites.
Okay.
You know that the topic of this lesson came through a brother, Tazayat. He just contacted me, and he reminded me of this guy that came to the camp and said, "You Negroes are actually Edomites."
Yeah.
And of course, in the camp, we went into it, but I wanted to go into it more detailed. And Yahweh through the Spirit, we're gonna touch on that topic and prove that we can never be Edomites, man.
Sorry.
We can never be Edomites. And I was actually looking for a Jacob and Esau picture, to put as the thumbnail. And then I found this Jake, with the name Esau above it.
Yeah.
And basically, it's the biggest madness that there is, man. How can Jacob, the Israelites, Negros, Latinos, and Indianos ever be Esau, man? Okay, so we're gonna touch on that, but of course, first we have to go into the beginning, man, where Jacob and Esau came on the scene. So if you can read that up.
Go. So it's Genesis chapter 25 and 23. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in their womb, and two men of people. More up, then let me start at 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went. Come.
So Rebekah inquired of the Lord. And she said, like, if it's a good thing that I'm pregnant, how can it be that I feel like this? She basically felt like shit because these twins was fighting. Okay? These twins was fighting, struggling. Now females can get nauseous from the child kicking in the womb, twisting and turning in the womb. That can already make the woman sick. Now these two children was going at it, man. They was going at it in the womb. They was already struggling and fighting. Like, hey, give me some space, man. Just like today, just like today. Jacob and Esau are still fighting, man. Give me some space, but Esau don't let us get space. Okay, read
on. Why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord Yahweh. Verse 23. And Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in their womb, and two men of people shall be separated from their bowels.
Yeah, so two nations are in their womb, and two nations shall be separated from their bowels. They're not going to be together. They're not going to cling together. They're not going to be able to work together.
Go.
Read on. And they're going to be separated. Read on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Okay, so it says, one people shall be stronger than the other people. Now, who's that talking about? It's talking about Jacob. Jacob is stronger than Esau. Okay, if you look at the Negros Latinos today, you see that Jacob is stronger, man. Physically, mentally, they want to say like, yeah, but Esau is strong in the mind. His mind is strong because he's wise. He has all these inventors and stuff like that. But the moment their whole company, let's say you have an Edomite inventor, right? But the company he working for goes bankrupt. This Edomite will go to the highest building in the neighborhood and do backflips from it when he loses his job. That shows you that Esau is not mentally strong, man.
Yeah.
Jacob is. The
Go.
Negros, Latinos, and Indianos are mentally strong. We went to slavery and back, okay? We struggle to get jobs. We have a job maybe for a few months. We get fired again. We look for a new job. We get fired again. Esau don't give us a chance. But you don't see.
Sure.
You know, we have multiple children. Esau has one child in the house.
Struggling.
One, and sometimes no children.
Yeah.
And they commit suicide only because they lose their job.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't even have to worry about, feeding their kids and stuff like that. Many times.
Okay.
But Jake, he loses his job. He struggles through it. He pulls his children through it. It keeps his sanity, man. He stays, mentally strong. Okay?
Come.
But Esau doesn't have that.
Come. I got
So
a
you
quick
can look
question
at
for
the
you.
Negros, Latinos, and you can look at the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, and the so-called white man, and compare those two and look at who is more stronger than the other, man. You see that?
Oh.
There's stories about Native Americans that they went to run for miles and miles with water in their mouth. That was a test that they did back in the days, to show the stamina and the greatness and the strength of the Gadites and the Reubenites. They would put water in their mouth and keep the water in their mouth until they finish basically their race.
Crazy.
Okay, so they would run their mouth, and at the end they would spit out the water. Now, you might think like, how is that difficult? Go run and try not to breathe through your mouth at a certain point. At a certain point, you're gonna want to breathe through your mouth because you're tired, you're exhausted. You need more oxygen in your lungs, so you're gonna breathe through your mouth. Okay? But these guys that they didn't need to do that because they was physically strong. Okay? You have a precept?
Go on this one real quick. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Most High has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And when you go into the word sound, it basically means what was it again? Healthy and strong mind. So this is what we got. But Esau don't has this. We got a healthy and strong mind through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua because we are his chosen nation. We are the Israelites. But Esau don't have that. Doesn't have that, man. Trying to bring out that quick.
Right.
Go.
But yeah, Jake nowadays they don't really have that neither because they don't walk in the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The reason that we was given a sound mind, that the Lord says we have a sound mind is mainly because we follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay?
Right.
We are not like the other nations, bugging out, doing all kinds of foul stuff. But eventually, yes, we went off and our minds lost their soundness basically.
Go.
Okay?
That's
but
right.
I understand your point. Jake,
Go.
their mind state is on another level. We stronger. We more stable in our physical strength and our mental strength. Okay.
That's right.
Go back to Genesis.
Going back to Genesis chapter 25 and verse 24. And when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in a womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
Oh yeah, and to go back, it said the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, so Rebecca already knew because she entreated the Lord. She asked the Lord like, "Hey, why am I thus?" Okay, so the angel answered her and said, "Two nations are in thy womb." So she knew she had twins. Okay, she knew that the elder shall serve the younger. So the moment she sees the babies come out, she's gonna know who's the blessed one. Okay, the elder shall serve the younger. This is what was being told to Rebecca. Read on.
To go back, read Genesis 24 and 25 and 24 again. And when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Gone. That's right, and they called his name Esau. So they described the skin color of Esau. Why? Because there was no on the earth looking like that. That's why his skin color is being described. Okay,
right.
if it was normal that certain children would come out like that in those days, they wouldn't have described his skin color.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
That's right.
but they said, listen, the child is red all over, like a hairy garment, because the hairy garments, they would dye, man. They would dye those garments. You can look that up. It says the dyed garments of
Of Bosra.
no, not that. Type in dyed garment.
Garment. Garments. It's only common like this. Prison garments. It's not popping up.
I forgot
It's
where it was.
only
Doesn't matter. Anyway, what Jake used to do was dye the garment. Okay, so his hairy garment is not referring to his body
clothing.
hair, even though these Edomites have a lot of hair. But it's still referring to his skin color. Esau was red all over. Okay, now when these local white come out of the womb, when they are born, they are fully red, man.
That's right.
They are literally fully red. Why? Because they are Esau. Okay, they are Aishashwa. With the word Aishash means to waste. Okay, be wasted. Something is vaguely disappeared. So if you look up the word Esau, it says Aishah, which comes from the word Aishash, and Esau, his name is Aishashwa, wasted away. The wa in the end is he. Whenever you put wa in the end of a word, it refers to he. Okay. I'm thinking about an example. For example, mamanya means depart from me.
Yeah.
But mamanwa means depart from him. Okay. Mamanwa. Yeah.
Come. Because even the
Akwa means his brother. Akia means my brother. See? So that's the name of Esau. Now, what is wasted away is skin pigmentation. Jacob, the Negros, the Indianos, their skin pigmentation is not gone, man. It's still there. But through mingling, some brothers look lighter than the other, and some do look like Esau. But that's where you go to the lineage. The lineage is important. Where is your father from? Okay? And of course, we don't know the exact lineage nowadays. None of us on the planet Earth can direct his lineage back to Jacob. Okay? Or to one of the tribes. We can't. But according to the scriptures, we can see the spirit of Jacob is different. Okay? Like the scripture says, his spirit is not upright in him. So when we see a man his spirit is not upright in him, we know it's Esau, man.
That's right. Got this prison right here.
And we can see that through the spirit. It's a different behavior. Okay?
It's like it's not right. Gone. It's Habakkuk 2 verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Gone. The prison. Yeah.
Esau's spirit is not right, man. Esau's spirit is not right. And, we also living in a time wherein the spirit of Esau is being revealed, man. Okay? It's being shown what he is. Like it says in Isaiah 47 and 3, Nahum chapter 3, that his nakedness is going to be shown. Now, we are living in a time, you don't have to grab it. We're living in a time when that is already happening. Okay? But it's going to happen even more.
That's right.
It's all going to come to the light, what Esau been doing. And then, even all the Eden nations going to look at Esau like how perverse he is. Okay?
Come.
We'll read on.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 26. Or let me read 25 again. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And
So this is
after,
the elder.
yeah,
So this is the elder. Now Rebecca knew the elder shall serve the younger. Read
that's
on.
right. And it's like, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was
Yeah,
called Jacob.
and his name was called Jacob, which symbolizes that we are gonna pull Esau down out of his rulership, man. That
That's
is
right.
already that already symbolizes us going into the kingdom, and basically the last leg of this society, of this former house that we are living in, which is this kingdom. Is gonna be pulled down by Jacob, man, and it's gonna be ruled by Esau, but it's gonna be pulled down by Jacob, man.
That's
Like
right.
it says in 2 chapter 6 verse 9.
Yeah, I want to get there quick.
Yeah.
The second chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau, let me start at 8. And he said unto me, from Abram unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
That's right. Asalakia. Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
See, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand, which is the time period wherein it's going to take for us to take the kingdom, to be ruled in this in this world. Because it says the end of the world, but it doesn't mean the destruction of the whole human race or the destruction of the earth as a globe. Because if you look up the word world, it says eon, which is age. Okay? It's going to be the end of an age, the end of an era, which is the end of all eras, because a new era is going to come and it's going to be everlasting. It's going to be the kingdom. Okay? Like it says in Daniel, the kingdom shall stand forever and ever.
That's right. That's
okay?
right.
Go back.
Going back to Genesis chapter 25 and 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
Yeah.
And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. Go.
Yeah, and his name was called Jacob. Now, what this devil said, that came to the camp calling us Edom, is because he says Jacob means supplanter, and he says that's what the so-called white man has been doing. I'll be like, listen, man, there is a difference between supplanting and deceiving, man. And it said that Esau would deceive. The scriptures speak about Esau would deceive, not supplant. Jacob would supplant. Okay, there's a difference. Supplanting goes into, skillfully being able to get what you want. Okay, but then to deceive goes into, lying and being a devil to get what you want.
That's right.
Okay, because, let me just give you an example. Back in the days, right, when I was in the world, I was into, fixing chicks, going out to parties and stuff, having a good time, So I wanted to, always have my wingman with me or a couple of friends, a couple of jigs. And sometimes this good friend that I had back in the world, this Antillian guy, he didn't want to go. He's like, no, he's lazy, he's tired from working and stuff like that. He just want to chill on the block and smoke some weed. And I'd be like, listen, man, if you go with me, we're going to get a bottle, I already contacted some chicks in the city. So, we're going to have a good time. And then he'd be like, damn, that does sound good. Okay, come. That is supplanting. That is Jake. Jake supplants you into doing something. Okay? Which, for example, Jacob supplanted Esau into selling his birthright. He didn't lie to him. He just did something which made him get what he wants. Okay? So that's it, man. And he said, yeah, that shows you the planting shows you that that's the so-called Abilepo. You can't come with that nonsense, man. Because if you read down, it's going to show you the characteristics of the so-called white man, which is Esau, Edom. Okay, read on.
That's right. Verse 27, Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Now, if you turn on Discovery Channel, if you turn on Animal Planet, who do you see in the field? You don't see Negros in the field, man. You don't see Jake in the field. Oh, that's a beautiful crocodile. Oh, so beautiful. Let's go closer and risk our lives. Jake be like, fuck no, man. Yo, do you really think that Jake is gonna approach a snake? Come on now, man. Jake ain't approaching no snakes, man. Okay, I know Jake in South America, they will scare a snake, you know, because they grow up, of course, in a different environment. Yeah, they used to it. But Jake ain't going to all kinds of countries to go into the wilderness and spot animals and kill them, man. Jake don't do that stuff, man.
God, or even let them get stitched by it, like this one dude that takes these dangerous animals, got them in a glass, put it on his arm, and they basically bite him. Jake don't do that things, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The program is called Bite Me. Jake don't do that nonsense, man.
Yeah, man.
See?
That's right.
Read on.
Cool. So going back, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Read on.
Yeah. Go on. So look, verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
Yeah, Rebekah loved Jacob. Why did Rebekah love Jacob? Because Rebekah already knew the elder shall serve the younger. Okay? Rebekah already knew the blessing was going to go to Jacob. Okay? And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. What does that mean? Jake loved to be at home, man. Jake loved to be in his own neighborhood. You know? Even when you are in the truth, when you talk shit about a man's neighborhood, you know, even a brother in the truth, even though we know this place is going to be destroyed, you know, this place is going to go down. If you talk about, hey, yo, Amsterdam is whack, man. Fuck Amsterdam. Or, hey, yo, Brooklyn is whack, man. Fuck the Bronx. Yeah, Jake is going to lose his mind, man. Like, hey, why you talk about my city like that, man? Meanwhile, it's devil's society, but Jake just loved the place where he at, man. You know, that's why Jake chilling on the porch. You know, you got Jake chilling on the porch, man, on the block in front of their house.
Yeah.
And if other people that are not from that block come there, they're gonna notice it because they're always there.
Cool.
That's why we call each other homie too. Homie. You see?
Yeah. Cool.
Jake was a plain man.
Cool. And I just looked up the word plain, and it means in the Hebrew tam or thumb, and it means perfect, complete. One who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty. Hey, wholesome.
That's beautiful, man. Physical, perfect, you know, doing what he got to do. You know, and that goes back to Cain and Abel, man. Okay? Cain being Jacob, and like Cain being Esau, and Abel being Jacob, man. Because Abel, he had the perfect sacrifice. So that plainness that Jacob had is that perfection. The Most High set him up to be, you know, an acceptable man. Because why? The children that he made are the first fruits. So the first fruits, which is the elect, come from the man whose name is Jacob that later changed into Israel. Okay?
That's right.
They are the first fruits. So if the first fruits don't come from a man that is already perfect and in strength and in beauty, then they can never be that beautiful elect. So Jacob, he's the beginning of that nation which is called Israel, and he was perfect and wholesome, man.
That's
he lacked nothing. So that's beautiful, man. That's Jake today. Jake today in the spirit. Okay? But seeing we are without the Heavenly Father, the majority of our people, you know, and even though the majority of our people go back to the 80s and 90s, if you look at boxing, Jake had that fire, man. Jake had that fiery spirit to step into a ring with a so-called white man with a cracker and beat the shit out of him, man. But nowadays, Jake is getting salty. You know, they don't really have that fire no more. You know, they got the riches. They don't have to prove themselves no more. So yeah, now you do have heathen nations be that fire, man. The riches of this world has consumed him, and he got that careless mind state now, which is that westernized mind, man.
That's right.
Okay, read on.
Come. And also, when I think about the riches, a gift destroys the heart, man. This is what happened to Jake, man.
Yeah.
And in the boxing thing,
right.
and also in the pro leagues, you know. But going back, Genesis chapter 25 and 29, and Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Yeah, because why? Edom means red, Adawam. Adawam means red, okay? And they want to claim that Adam is Adawam too, or Adama, and that Adama means red, but Adama means ground. Because if you look up the word ground, it says Adama. But then when you look up Adam, it's also Adama, but all of a sudden it means red. You see?
Nonsense,
now that is lying. Now that is the work of the so-called white man, because who gave you this blue letter Bible? Who gave you the ability to look at these words in the Hebrew? It's the so-called white man. So we got to look closely upon his doings, man, and see what this devil is plotting, man. Now that is deceiving. That's wickedness. But here you're going to see how Jacob got the blessing, the birthright, man. He saw an occasion to get what he wants. And he got it, man.
So like same red pottage, and verse 30, and Esau said to Jacob, like verse 31, and Jacob said, send me this day thy birthright. Go.
Yeah, so Esau was faint, and he said, give me of the same red pottage. Therefore his name was called Edom, which is red, because the meat wasn't done yet. Okay? The scripture says that you should not eat meat with the blood thereof. Okay? You should not eat the meat while it is raw. Okay? Now Jacob knew that. He was like, you want this food? Meanwhile, it's not even done yet. He's like, okay, but you know what? If you want it, how about that birthright, man? Can we make it? That's the supplanting, man.
That's right. That's right.
And that shows you that the spirit of Esau was not upright in him, because he didn't see the value of his birthright, man.
Yeah, man.
He only thought about the food.
Yeah, carnal.
That's why it says, if any profane person like Esau who sold his birthright for a morsel of meat.
Yeah.
You see that?
Got it.
How stupid can you be? But guess what? That was the spirit of the Heavenly Father upon him, because it had to go to Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right. Come, because it was predestined already, man.
Yeah. Okay, go to the blessing.
Come the blessing. So like, let me go here right here. Give me just a second. I had a line that what the fuck, man. 27. On Genesis chapter 27, and let me start at 38. And it says, and Esau said unto his father, or should I start up?
Start at but one blessing for me, O Father.
Yeah, understand, then right. Genesis 27:38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even bless me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Yeah, because Jacob just received all the blessings, man. So now Esau is crying, the so-called workman is crying and asking for a blessing too. Okay, and then through the Spirit, Isaac gave him his blessing, which is still visible today.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Yeah. So
Verse.
the fatness of the earth is what? The fatness of the earth is all the riches, man. The good
That's
and
right.
beautiful places. You can
Mm-hmm.
go into any island or beautiful place in Africa or a beautiful place in Asia, and
Mm-hmm.
that devil is there, man.
That's
You know,
right.
I used to go to certain places with my father, and
Mm-hmm.
my father always used to make this mocking comment, like, of course, the cheese man is here because Edomites like cheese a lot, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So and they make cheese, so of course the cheese man is here also. He always made that
Mm-hmm.
statement, and now it's clear to me like why he said that. He didn't say it consciously, but he said it through the spirit. Like this devil is everywhere, just like how
Mm-hmm.
dew is spread all over the grass. That's how
Mm-hmm.
Esau is spread all over the world, man. He has
That's right.
all the goodly pieces in possession,
Mm-hmm.
like the scripture says. How thou hast all the goodly places in thy possession.
Come.
Even the Holy Land is in the possession
Come.
of the so-called man today. Okay, so if you say the Negros are the Edomites, then we should have all the beautiful places in possession right now. We
Mm-hmm.
should have the fatness of the earth.
That's right.
Now, when we told this guy we don't have the fatness of the earth, and then he said, yes, you do. He said the fatness of the earth represents your rod,
Yeah.
and the dew from heaven
Yeah.
represents your sperm. That's why y'all make a lot of children. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about, man? He
Yeah,
said,
man.
yeah, because if you go to the word world over there, it says aratasa. I said, yeah, that's right. And he says aratasa really means your rod. Man, I said, man, you bugged the fuck out, man. I said,
Come.
you bugged the hell out, man. Because aratasa just means the entire earth, man.
Yeah. The land. Yeah.
Which that, which that is what we're gonna inherit. That's why Yahweh Shai said, the meek shall inherit the world.
Come.
Okay? Ainawa, Yarash, Aratasa. The meek, Ainawa,
Mm-hmm.
inherit Yarash, Aratasa, the earth. You
Come.
see? It has
Come.
nothing to do
That's
with
right.
Sharad.
That's right.
And when it's something to do with Sharad, it's talking about fruitfulness. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ephraim is like a fruitful bow. Okay? He makes a lot of children. He's very fruitful, meaning, you know, if you go into the lineage of people, you're talking about the family tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a family tree, if it has a lot of boughs, meaning the branches, if it
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of branches, that means there's a lot of people in the family, man. Thirteen
That's
children,
right.
15 children. Ephraim be popping children like it's nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Ephraim only has to hug his wife and she already pregnant.
That's right.
You see? That's
That's
really
right.
what it's talking about. Now, Esau is the fatness of the earth, which represents, yeah. Esau is the fatness of the earth, which represents all the beautiful places. Now, Jacob doesn't have that now. Esau
That's
has
right.
it. So the
Mm-hmm.
blessing towards Esau was you will get the fatness of the earth. Read.
Mm-hmm. Come. Genesis chapter 27 and verse so like 40. But let me read 39 again. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by thy sword thou shalt live,
By the sword thou
and
shalt
shalt
live. Now Jacob didn't live by the sword, man. Jacob
go.
still doesn't live by the sword.
That's right.
When the Israelites went to war against the Philistines, they didn't even have swords, man.
That's right, man.
It
Yeah,
says,
man.
can you pull that up? It says it
Yeah,
in the
can,
book
can,
of
can. First Samuel.
when we went to war,
First
we
Samuel.
didn't even use swords, man.
Yeah, go.
How did King David take down
Goliath.
Goliath with slingshot?
Go.
Okay, next to the swords or next to the slingshot, we had I call that we had farming tools.
Yeah, farming tools. Yeah, this
Okay,
one to pull. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
where
it.
is it, man? Let me pull it up quick so like I thought I knew where it is.
I think it's the six. You got the six, I believe.
The 6?
Yeah, just look it up.
Go. Version 15. No. No. No, I can't find it. Where I can't find it, man. Do you know the wording of the precept?
Type in sword nor spear in Israel. Sword nor spear. Go to Google and type in there was neither sword nor spear in Israel.
Go. Yeah, I got it. I was right there, man. Salakia. This is first Samuel chapter 13, and let me start at 19. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, "Lest the Hebrews make them swords and spears."
Yeah, so there was no artificer in Israel. There was no blacksmith, a man that makes weapons, man. It was not found in the nation of Israel. You see?
That's right.
We had to go to the Philistines to get our pruning hook and our how do you call these things? This thing to take the harvest down with.
Pruning hook and what is it called again? Pruning hooks.
The spike.
And
the spike or something.
The what?
A spike.
I can't remember the word, man. The sicker, yeah, the sicker, yeah. The sicker, yeah. Go.
So we was going to go with those type of things, man. Because if you read down.
Go. Verse 20. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. Verse 21.
Those are all the tools that you use, for the working in the field. Because Jake was working in the field, man, getting his hands dirty. They were shepherds, carpenters. What did they use the axe for? They used the axe to cut down trees to make all kinds of things with, man.
That's right.
And the moment we had to go to war, we used those type of tools, man. We didn't have no sword. Only Saul and Jonathan had a sword, which is gonna say two, I believe. Plowshare,
yeah, plowshare. Yeah. Verse 21. Yet they had a file for the mattocks, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goats. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan, but with Saul and with Jonathan his son was there found. Like you said.
Right. Yeah, but with Saul and Jonathan they were found. See that? And then when Saul died, and Jonathan also, King David commanded the people the work of the bow, man. The weights of the bow. Okay, because you had Benjamites that was killed with the bow and with slingshots.
Yeah.
And what did Jonathan do also when King David was in the field? He shot the bow, to communicate with him.
Yep.
So that was in the midst of Benjamin. Okay, so we didn't have no swords, but Esau was already out there with swords, man. Okay, when Jacob fled to Laban, he already had a great army.
Yep.
Okay, that was therefore Jacob feared him so much. Okay, so go back to the blessing. So the blessing of the Soka white man is sword. If you look at the Soka white man today, you see that he conquered the whole earth with the sword, man.
That's right.
He conquered the whole earth with the sword, which the modern day sword is the gun.
Genesis chapter 27 and 40. And by the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Yeah, so Esau is the dominion right now.
That's
So-called
right.
white man has a dominion right now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look at who the dominion has, it's really these Amalekites, man. Which
That's right.
Amalek is the son of Esau. Amalek is
Mm-hmm.
the son of Esau, which are those, if I say it, they probably pull down the video. But yeah, you should know who Amalek is by now, man. I ain't even
Come,
gonna
that's
say
right,
it.
man. Yeah.
So
Come.
give me that Jewish encyclopedia.
Come.
Because they say it in their own literature, man. They say it in their own books. Who
You.
is the modern day Jew, or who is the
Come.
modern day Jewish person? Because they don't
Come.
call themselves, Israelites. They call themselves Israeli. They don't call
Mm-hmm.
themselves Jew. They call themselves Jewish. Okay,
That's right.
something pertaining to, but that's it, and that's this.
Mm-hmm. You want straight the
Okay, give
point
me
where?
that Jewish encyclopedia.
Come. You want the whole thing or
Yeah,
just straight to the
just
point?
read.
Come.
Just,
So
yeah, you can read a little bit around it.
come. So Jews are history's foremost race mixers, hypocrites, and promoters of um, mongrelization. Racial tensions can be best understood through Jewish incitement and social engineering. Ultimately, the Jewish machinations, so like for breeding out pure races, not just whites, and ushering in an era of one homogenocide breed is nothing less than genocide. Basically, go. The 95 of the
Yeah,
world
so they
jury. So like,
yeah,
what is
they're
it?
talking about themselves on how they also
Yeah,
conquered everything, man, through massacre and slaughter.
yeah.
Okay, because
Basically,
who were the first people to come down upon us when we fled Egypt? It was those Amalekites, man.
go.
They was the first of the nations to come down upon us, man.
That's right. Go.
Okay, read on.
So going back,
Go
95%
straight to
of
the
the
point
world.
now.
What's it? And then I switch to like it.
Go straight to the point.
Go. It says is in Edom is in modern Jewry. Yeah, this one. Edom is modern
Yeah,
Jewry,
so
man.
Edom,
Go.
in that same encyclopedia, which you can just type it in on Google, Jewish
Mm-hmm.
encyclopedia, it says Edom is modern day Jewry. Now go to
That's right.
Google and type in Jewry meaning.
Go.
Then you're gonna see what it's talking about, man.
Go.
Edom
Jewry.
is modern day Jewry.
Go. It says Jewry, noun, the Jewish people, the
The
commune, the
Jewish,
commune. Go.
yeah,
Say that
the
again.
entire Jewish people. Man.
Go.
See that?
That's right.
Edom is modern day Jewry. Now, what is the modern? Who are the modern day people? Jewish community?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the modern day Jewish people, or that claim that they are?
Okay,
It's
so
them, man. Those
go. That's right.
Amalekites.
That's right.
So it says that they come from Edom.
Mm-hmm.
They come from Edom. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that
Go.
was it. That was it. So that's
Go.
another cut, man. Because I
That's
asked that
right.
dude in the camp, I asked him, like, so do you think that those people that are in Israel right now, that they are real descendants of Jacob? Or that the so-called white man is descendants of Jacob? He said yes. Oh, I said, okay.
Ross.
Yeah,
Go.
man. Bugging out, man. So go
Yeah,
back.
man. Aaron not knowing the scriptures, man. That's what he's doing. Come.
Yeah,
What you
man.
want? The Genesis 41? The blessing still? Or you want the Job? Come. So Genesis chapter 27 and 41. And it says, and Esau, 40, so like, and by the sword shalt thou live, and serve thy brother Jacob. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob.
So it says, by the sword shalt thou live.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? By the sword shalt thou live. Now, which nation is all about the weapons and its weapons and its weapons of destruction, man? Jacob,
Arsenal,
Negros, Latinos, and Indianos are not about weapons, man.
No, no.
Oh, if you go into the hood, all the Negros have weapons. Okay, but who gave it to them?
Yeah.
Did we make it? Do we own Smith and Wesson? Do we own it? Nah, man. It's not in our possession, man. And like I showed you in the book of Samuel, we was not even making weapons back in those days. We was just using, farming tools to destroy our enemies with, man. Not even real weapons. That's the fun part. We didn't even need real weapons to destroy them with. We just did it with farming tools.
That's right.
But Esau has. That spirit goes back to Tubal Cain, which was a forger. He was the first forger of weapons, man. He bended the iron. He started forming things from metal, which we know spiritually is the reincarnation of Cain.
That's right. So to finish it off.
So go to Job.
Finish
it.
Genesis chapter 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days.
Yeah, that's right. So Esau, Sukkah white man, is still hating us up to this day, man, because we have the blessing. Even though we are completely broken down at this point because of him, he still hates us, man. Because we can have pleasure with a little, with small, man. Esau needs to have a fat ass car, bigger than his neighbor. If his neighbor has a boat, he needs to have a bigger boat. And he's still not happy, man. His wife still be cheating on his ass. You see? Laying down with this little Jamaican dude from the block.
No.
And Dick Dom. Okay? Or his wife gets taken by a man that has a bike. He doesn't even have a car. Okay? That's what happens, man. The mailman or the how you call him? The plumber.
Yeah.
These Edomite females be having sex with guys that come fix something in the house, man. Okay? So
that's right.
What I wanted to say is that Jake is happy with a little, man. We can have 10 euros, buy a bottle of whiskey, share it with the of us, and we can have a good time, man. We don't need that shit, man. That they have. We can be happy with it, though. So when Esau looks at us, when the Sukkah white man looks at us, he despises us, man. He hates us for that. Okay, that perpetual hatred is in his heart.
Yep.
Okay, read on.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Yeah, man. So he has been trying to slay us and eradicate us from the beginning, man. From the time that Isaac gave up the spirit, he been hunting us down, man.
Yeah.
That's why he teamed up with the Babylonians. He teamed up with the Assyrians. Okay, but they went to war with us. Esau was right there, man, to help them.
Yeah.
You can read about that in the book of Judith. Esau pulled up and said, like, listen, you can cut off their water supply, cut off their food, basically make them starve. And that's the same thing that he's planning today also.
Yeah.
So go to Job.
The same thing you got today, man. Gunning us down, basically get every chance that he got. He takes every chance that he got to basically kill another one of us, or even basically to just persecute us and give us down in this place, man. Showing you this hate is unto this day here, man. But going to Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the
Yeah.
faces of the judges thereof. So okay.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Yeah.
And who's the wicked? Malachi 1 and 4.
Go on.
So-called white man is the wicked. Okay?
Go on.
Which is Esau Edom. Esau Edom is the wicked.
That's right.
Now, who believes more in the power? Is it the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos, or the so-called white man?
Mm.
Who has more faith? Who believes more in a higher power? These
Yeah.
devils, they don't believe, man. They don't believe.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's right, man. You go to
Because
Craig and ask him.
with that Malachi, he can still say like, yeah, Esau Edom is you Negros, so you are the wicked of the earth. But how are we the wicked of the earth? How did we
Yeah.
conquer and destroy this whole? Okay, how are we against the earth?
Come on.
You don't see Israelites kicking birds, man, or trying to
Yeah.
kick birds.
That's right. Yeah, man. That's true, man.
Esau has all these foul type of wickedness, to destroy this earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the scriptures call him the destroyer of the earth.
That's right.
You have
Come.
something?
I got a precept. This is Psalms chapter 55 and 21. The words of his mouth, let me start at 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant.
And he
verse
does
21.
that. He does that all over the earth, man. But
Yeah.
this is going into what he did with the Native Americans. The
That's right.
Native Americans peaceably upon him.
Yeah.
Now we know that the Native Americans were not innocent in the spirit because they sinned against the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
But unto the so-called white man, they was innocent. So Esau pulled up without a cross. Esau pulled up without a cross upon the Native Americans. They didn't do anything to him.
Go on.
He sinned in the eyes of the Most High. That's why they got punished. But unto the so-called white man, the Native Americans didn't do nothing. They
That's
gave
right.
peaceable upon them. Okay? So he
Come.
was smooth as there, but war was in his hand. In his head? In
And
his
then
hand?
it's hard. No, in his heart. In his heart. Go on.
War was in his hand, man.
Go on. This was verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Yeah.
His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Go on. That's the thing. That's what you see unto this day. Yeah. Go on.
So why is that drawn swords? Because Esau is a man of war.
Yeah.
He enlarged his land, his border. He has never enough. His desire is as hell. Can you give me Habakkuk?
Yeah. Come on, I'm gonna get Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. And it says, "Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell." Go on.
Yeah, who enlargeth his desire as hell. The desire of the so-called white man is unsatisfiable, man.
Yeah.
Because hell, if you look up the word hell there, it says sha'awal, which is the grave.
Yeah.
You see? So the grave never has enough. The grave always has space for more dead people, dead bodies.
Yeah. That's right.
The grave is never full. There's always room for people to be buried. Now that is the same desire that Esau has, man. It's never enough. He's never full. That's why he goes across the whole earth to rape, rob, and murder, man.
That's right.
Now is that in the power of the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos? No. It's in the power of Esau Edom.
Okay.
That's why he is the wicked of the earth, the border of wickedness, man.
That's right. Come to finish it off. So what is it? Yeah. To finish it off, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap. That's right. The unsearchable. Good. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's what you do, man.
Yeah.
That's what you see,
Gone.
man.
And
You
this
see
is
the
the
so like go
gone. And this is
the
the instance of what I was talking about. If you can read it,
mm-hmm.
the brother
Go
pulled it up. What I said about Judith, Judith chapter
mm-hmm.
7.
Go. So it's Judas chapter 7 verse 8. Then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau, and all the governors of the people of Moab, and the captains of the sea coasts, and said, can you go to the next one? Did the brothers just see it? Or should I just read it? Verse 9.
Oh, you can do it?
No, I can't. I will do it. Yeah. Verse 9. Let our Lord now hear word, and there be not an overthrow in thine army. Come on, let me, but it's not done yet. Come on. Let me just read it real quick. Judith chapter 7 and verse 10. And it says, For this people of the children of Israel do not trust in their spears, but in the height of the mountain wherein they dwell, because it is
Yeah.
not easy to come up to the tops of the mountains.
Yeah.
Go.
So this is an instance wherein Esau came and he he saw an occasion to go up against Jacob while he had no shit to do with it, man.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have made himself involved. But guess what? That perpetual hatred is in him.
The arch enemy. Yeah.
Yeah. The perpetual hatred is in him, man.
That's right.
Go to
Go.
go back to Job.
Go. So this book, going back to Job chapter 9, verse 24, and it says, The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
It's not where and who is he. So
Go.
the earth is given up to whom? The so-called white man.
Yeah.
We are not in rulership. So
Yeah.
he's the wicked. Because the
That's
so-called
right.
white man is a rulership. Okay? The Arabs are not a rulership. The
That's right.
Chinese are not a rulership. No, the so-called white people are in rulership. So they are the wicked.
Go.
Okay? Now, who does the Bible say that the wicked is? Esau, Edom.
Go.
Okay?
Want that?
Who covered the faces of the judges? The so-called white man. By
That's
the way
right.
of iconoclasm.
Mm-hmm.
Icon meaning image, and clasm meaning to destroy.
That's right.
That's what they did during the Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what they
Go.
did.
Go.
Don't see that?
That's right. Go on. You want Malachi?
Yeah.
Go on. Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. This saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever.
You see, the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever. Because the scripture
That's
says,
right.
Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. Okay? So the Most High
Yeah.
has hatred for those people. Now, when you look at
That's
Jake,
right.
when you look at the Negros, it doesn't seem that way, man. The Heavenly Father has given us all this talent, all this skill. But yes, we are in the lowest state. But that is the same state wherein Israel was going to be, man.
Yep.
And Esau was going to be on top. Now we are not on top, so that it already makes it plain and simple, man.
That's right.
Jacob is in the lowest state, like it says in the book of Deuteronomy. Can you grab that?
Comes Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Verse 48. Therefore,
we did not go to the Heavenly Father in abundance of all things. We started worshiping idols, praying to false gods, praying to entities, you see, in want of all things. We didn't go to the Heavenly Father no more for that.
That's right.
So he punished us. He punished Israel. Now, who got punished like that? The Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. Read on.
Yeah. Verse 48. Therefore shall to certain enemies, which Yahweh, the Lord, shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in the want of all things.
Yeah, in want of all things. Now, does the so-called white man have to go to his enemy in want of all things, or do people go to him in want of all things? Mainly us, man, because you have other heathen nations that can set up their ways and their laws, set up shop. But Jake don't own nothing, man.
No.
We, as Negros, Latinos, Indianos, we have to go to him in want of all things, man. In want of all things, we have to go to him. In nakedness, if we want something, if we want the roof over our heads, we need to go to him. Yeah, but you can also buy clothes in a Chinese store, or food in a Chinese restaurant. Yes, but who they have to pay rent to?
Yeah.
Who they have to pay tax to? That money is still gonna go. Yeah, the money still goes into the pockets of the so-called white man. You see, so it may be indirectly going to the so-called white man, but it does go to him, man. See?
That's right, man. Because he's the ruler of this world, man. They all pay tribute unto him. That's right. And that's what you see. Because when you think about all these nations, because when I think about even here in Germany or in the Netherlands, nearly everywhere these Edomites got the liquor store, man, or like a little coffee shop or something like that, like where you can go to the computer or anything. But let Jake have that, man. He's gonna be burned down quick. Yeah.
Amalek always has something, man.
Yeah.
He either has tire stores, tire shops, or he has garages, or he has bakeries, or he always has something, man.
That's right.
Restaurants, you see?
Yeah.
And it goes all the way up to having banks, man.
Yep.
It goes all the way up to debt.
That's right.
And who is that? Those Amalekites, man.
Yeah.
Jake don't own shit.
No.
So how can we be Esau, man? Come on, man. How can we be Esau if we don't have no shit, man? The fatness of the earth, the fatness is not even on our plates, man. How can we have the fatness of the earth if we are dead poor, man?
That's right.
It makes no sense, man.
So and also when you think about who is the basically most protected supposedly race on this planet Earth, man. You can speak anything against them. You can say anything, not even a little thing. Even like in Germany, they said, I just read the article today, that they want to even come down more against people that speak against them, man, against the Amalekites. Why is that, man? Because they're the rulers of this world. Because they are the wicked. Right. Because they are Esau.
Yeah, it's the same as speaking against the king. You can't speak against the king. Yeah. If you speak against the king, you're going to get judged for that, man. Yeah. Now, you can speak against any nation upon the planet Earth except the Amalekites. Then you are all of a sudden, then you are in trouble. Then you are anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a whole term built around this nation that is called Amalek. That's crazy, right, man. But that shows you what position they are in. You see? That shows you what position they are in, man.
Come. So going back, Deuteronomy 28 and 48. And in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Yeah, so he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee. He was that yoke represents the slavery, but physically he did put a yoke upon our necks, man. He did put a yoke upon our neck. Now we did also put a yoke upon the neck of the so-called white man, but he is not coming to us in want of all things.
Right.
Okay, when we had Edomites as tributaries, when we had Edomites as servants, they still had their own land.
That's right.
We didn't put them, into slavery with ships. Okay, they still had the ability to wear their own type of clothing, keep their own ways, their own laws,
their customs.
We just let them do their things, man.
Yeah.
But they were our servants. We ruled over them. Okay. Yeah. And when we was ruling as the Moors, we even taught them how to bathe and all those things, man. We was taking care of them. You see?
Sure.
But they was not taking care of us, man, in slavery. They was taking care of us in this way. Jake didn't want to eat. Okay? Jake didn't want to eat during slavery. They knock your teeth out, man. They knock your teeth out and shove the food in your mouth, man. That's what they was doing. Now go to Obadiah real quick. Obadiah, just start at verse 1, go down to verse 4, and then jump to verse 10.
Come, Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. This saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Go on.
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, that thou art greatly despised. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart.
Esau's despised by the nations, man.
That's right. Go on.
Read on.
Verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. You see?
That's right.
Now, I just enter into the city of Rotterdam now, and the habitations is high, man. Meaning the modern day clefts of the rocks is these skyscrapers, high buildings. Why you make buildings high like that, man? There's enough land that you can spread the people over, man. No, but they want to call the land overpopulated. That's bullshit, man. If you go from Amsterdam to Rotterdam, you've seen it too. You have kilometers of farmlands, man.
Yeah.
Kilometers and kilometers of farmland. Nobody living there.
Yeah.
You see? But they call the land overpopulated. That's bullshit, man. Yeah. Their spirit is within heights, man. They that dwell in the clefts of the rock. Now, can you look up the meaning of Caucasian real quick?
Come. Caucasian. Okay.
Because where they came from after they came from Mount Seir, which is in the Jordania right now, which is former land of Edom. They dwelled in Mount Seir, man.
That's right.
Okay, which are similar to the habitation that they came from, in southeast Georgia, Russia, being the Caucasus Mountains.
That's
now,
right.
the word Caucasian comes from that dwelling place, man, Caucasus Mountains. Okay, they call themselves Caucasians.
That's right.
Now, what does the word Caucasian mean?
So in the etymology, it means Caucasian, resident or native to the Caucasus. And then in the and when you go into in the Google meaning, Caucasian meaning Caucasian, of or relating to Caucasian people, Caucasoid white, of or belonging.
So white people.
That's right. Of or belonging to a racial group having light skin coloration. So what's basically this? Voting patterns.
If you go even deeper, it goes into a cave dweller or mountain dweller, because Caucasus means mountain. Okay, but then you have to go, deeper into the etymology. It says Caucasus means mountain. Okay, so Caucasian is a dweller in mountains, man, a dweller in caves. Okay, now if you go into the history of the Negros, we never dwelt in mountains, we never dwelt in caves, but Edom did. You see?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I got Caucasus right here, and it says Caucasus meaning mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said.
It means mountain.
That's right. Caucasus mountain.
So that is the meaning of the root of the word.
Yeah.
Okay. If Caucasus means mountain, then what does Caucasian mean then? You see, you can't have the word Caucasus and not have that in the sense of the meaning of the full word Caucasian.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand, man.
That's right.
So go to Obadiah 1 and 10. Jump to verse 1 and 10.
Go on. Do you want verse 4?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go to verse 4.
Verse 4. Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou that set the nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh.
Yeah, so who exalts himself as the eagle? Okay, whose symbol is the eagle?
Yeah.
Of the so-called man. You had the Nazis.
Yeah.
You had the Roman Empire. You have America. They all exalt themselves as the eagle, the Russians.
Yeah.
You see, that's their symbol, man. And
Yeah.
and the eagle is the one that flies the highest in the sky. Okay, there's no other bird that flies above him. They have to fly above him because otherwise they die, man. The thing is the eagle would just only have to come down and he would be able to have new prey, man. Okay, so that's the same way that Esau has exalted himself. Nobody is higher than him. Nobody is above him. We are not exalting ourselves like that. Jake don't say we are the kings, the rulers of the world.
No.
Jake don't even say that we're the kings of the earth, man.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we are, but we are not exalting ourselves like that.
Yeah.
You see?
That's right.
Yeah, we are not doing that.
Yeah.
That's the point, man.
Yeah.
Esau exalts himself, and he sets his nest among the stars, which represents what? He builds these space stations, man. Jake don't have the capacity to make space stations.
No.
Jake didn't even go into space yet, man.
No.
If I'm correct.
No,
Only these devils, man.
Yeah.
They even sent a monkey into space before they sent Jake, man.
Fucking bullshit, man. But hey, show
who they are, man. Jump to
verse 10.
And
it says, for their violence against their brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. That's right.
Yeah, man. And who was violent against Jacob? The so-called white man was violent against his Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. They went into America. They came smoothly to the Native Americans, but they raped, robbed, and murdered them. They came to the west coast of Africa. They talked smooth unto them, but they raped, robbed, and murdered them. Okay, they went into Israel. They talked smooth unto them, but they raped, robbed, and murdered them. You see? That's what they did, man. That's the violence that was committed against Jacob. Now, did the Negros, Latinos, Indianos ever pull up on the so-called white man like that? No. So how can you say the Negros are Esau? You can't, man. You're done. You're done. My brother would say, you finished, man. You finished. Like the brother Naka would do. You finished, man. You can't,
Can escape it. Yeah, man.
You can't escape it, man.
Right.
Esau's trying to escape his judgment. The so-called white people are trying to escape that judgment by calling us Esau, Edom. Nah, man. It don't work like that, man.
That's right.
And nowadays, you see what they're trying to do, right? They when you put on the subtitles on YouTube, and anyone says Esau on the video or Edom, they erase the subtitles, man.
Showing you, man.
But if you say Moab, hey, brothers that are on the comment board or brothers that are watching this video right now can try it, man. Turn on the subtitle and see how they take away Esau, Edom. But when I say Moab, Ammon, Israel, Ishmael, Esau, Edom, if you turn on your subtitle right now, you would have seen it, man.
That's right.
See? Yeah, man. With that, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Bashem
Yahushai,
Bonds to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.